this is Karina with Inspire Paper Designs, and today we're going to start the construction of the cover for the Abiding Love Traveler's Journal. Okay, so by the time that we get to the end of today, we should have today's video. We should have this cover completely constructed and ready for use. Okay, so I'm just going to set it aside, and we are going to bring in my choice here. This is the EVA foam. This is it's a 3mm thick, and these are the rolls that I buy it in, so it's a little bit awkward here, but we will work with it. Okay, I just want to grab my straight cutter here. Okay, so you want to leave yourself a little bit of margin, about, let's say, a quarter of an inch on this edge, and then on this edge as well. So when I do that and I line it up on here, and I kind of like using this guy because this helps you to be cutting it straight, so I can just lay it right up on there. So I'll kind of try to get my paper on here as straight as I can. Okay, and give myself the little bit of extra room to work with. That looks good. And that moved. That's okay. I can move it out of the way now so I can make my cut. Okay. Now, obviously, if you have a cutting mat under you, that's better. I am not putting down a lot of pressure, and I don't recommend that you cut this with a lot of pressure. You're better off to have light cuts. Okay. So I'm going to get my line, but I'm not actually cutting right through, so don't worry about my table beneath me, because I'm not cutting into that. What I'm going to do is making my initial cut, and then we are going to go ahead and cut it with the scissors the rest of the way here. Okay, just to get that. I have a cutting mat, and I'll use it later when we do it's just quite big and bulky, so just for this stuff I wasn't going to do that. Okay, so I'll put the rest of the roll of this aside. Okay, now I am going to try and just kind of work this to help it kind of relax a little more for you. Just relaxing it so that it lays down a little better for you. And I can even do it a little bit this way too. Okay, that's not bad. I'll get that out of the way. All right. So when I look at it, that'll lay on there quite nicely. And then what I will also do is I will take my ruler. Here it is. Let me bring it out. And I'll just kind of flip it around because I want to work from this end. And give myself about a quarter of an inch here. I will mark this one with a pen. And I'll save this stuff, these pieces, for doing other things with them. And one of the things that I do use them for is for the side protector right there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cut that off. Elmer's glue. I want to have some paper towel. It's over here. Just gonna grab a couple sheets of it. Okay. And you want to lay that down on there. And what you want to do is you want to give the back side, this is the cover page that I have chosen for the cover of the next journal. And so you will print off what you want to use. These pages can be found in the Abiding Love paper kits. And so choose the one that you want, and have, if your printer does print borderless as mine does, that is the best. Just because you get the full 8.5 height on your journal, okay? And then you also don't get any cutoff on your edges of your 11, so you get the full 11 inches. If your printer does not print borderless, then go with what you have. It will still work. It's just going to be slightly smaller in its dimensions, okay? And when I've designed these journals, I've designed everything like the pages to be like printed borderless. However, the journal pages, like for the inserts, they are not printed borderless. So, but I'll get to that in another tutorial. It's just too much to explain today. So, but for today, if your printer does not print borderless, go ahead and print it, and then just cut off your white edges of it. And then you'll have it right up to the point where we are right now, where you can go ahead and start gluing. So you're going to need Elmer's rubber cement, and if you would like, work with it with rubber gloves on, and preferably with a window open, or a fan and a fan on in your room if you can. So I have a ceiling fan in this room, and so I've got it going, and we're actually above 0 today, so I can go ahead, I can open the window, and then I've got lots of ventilation. So I will let you gather your materials, and then we will begin. Okay, sorry about the shaking camera. There we go. When I have to turn it on and I press the button, everything shakes. All right, we are ready to go. Okay, so we are going to give the first coat here. You're going to completely coat the surface, and you're going to let it completely dry. And I would suggest that it takes probably about 20 minutes to completely dry. So we're going to go ahead and open this, and we're just going to take a blob. Okay, as you're working this, I'm going to work from the center or the inside of my page out. You do not want to come at it this way over your edge, or you're going to have this over the edge everywhere, and it's going to be messy. Okay, this stuff is clear, and so you got to pay attention that as you're going, that you're getting your edges really good. Okay, I got lots. I'm just going to bring it back that way. Okay, come to your edges. I don't want blobs going over the edge, so I'm just making sure that coming down this way, just pulling it down. You can tell it's starting to get more like thick already, so it does start to dry. fairly quickly. You can see that as I'm working with it. So making sure I go over those edges, but again, never going into it, always brushing from the center out. There we go. You want to make sure all of your surface is covered and that you have not missed any of your edge, your outside edge. Okay, we're going to like that, and I get a nice thick blob. Okay. Normal for your foam to just kind of bubble a little bit on you. This is not water-based, so if your foam bubbles a little bit, it's not for that reason. Not to worry. Try to get your coat fairly even. You don't want to leave thick little blobs laying there because it's just going to take longer for it to dry. Come on. There we go. It is stringy. This stuff has excellent adhesion. I've tried other methods using other glues, and I have not had the success that I have had with this stuff. So, okay. I will leave you a little tip in the video here in just a few minutes about the glue. I've told you Elmer's glue. And Elmer's glue does work excellent. It is an excellent product. Okay. Okay, so I think I've got all my edges. Okay. And it just naturally wants to bend and do its thing because of being in the rolled up as it comes to begin with. Okay, so I'm going to set this to the side on a surface over here that I have to dry. I'll just drop my ruler on the floor. That's okay. All right, here is the tip. Okay, my confessions. I said Elmer's glue, and yes, and Elmer's glue is excellent. However, I'm finding the price on Amazon just a little pricey. So what I found also on Amazon is this. Best Test Paper Cement. Okay, no wrinkling, curling, shrinking. Okay, it's a real acid-free adhesive. This is an acid-free adhesive. They're both excellent product. Okay, this is like probably at least half the price of this one. And so what I do is I after my bottle was getting down there, I had maybe like a quarter left. I went ahead and poured this into here because this has a nice handy brush, okay, applicator. So if you can't find this, what you're looking for is a rubber cement that is acid free, and it's for paper use. It's for use on paper, okay? And so this is the one that I was able to find on Amazon Canada. So if you're finding where you are that your prices are formidable on this one as well, I am not trying to knock this. This is an excellent product. I can go through a bottle of this. Like, I think this will probably do 2 covers for me, and then I need to go and get more. And to me, that's very expensive. And so I needed to be able to stretch out stretch out the glue. So this is what I'm doing. It's just a little tip from me to you. No knock on them. They are an excellent product, okay? But if you can find this, this is like 32 fluid ounces or 1 quart, where this is 4 fluid ounces or 118 milliliters. And so this is not going very far, and the price is quite, yeah, considerably more, okay? So if Elmer's came out with this size for its you know, us crafters that are doing a lot of this stuff, and they made the price, I would support them. But for now, this is what I'm doing. So that's just a little tidbit for you. If you can't find this, there is always this, okay? So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead now and bring on the next piece. Just little tidbits of information to help you along your way, because I realize that most of us are trying to do nice things, creating nice things for ourselves and for gifts, but we're trying not to break the bank doing it too. So that just gives you an alternative. So, okay, so we're just going to carry on here, getting it down towards my edges. Okay, and as you can see, because it is not water-based, it is not warping my paper at all. It's temporarily making the paper more translucent because it's wet, but that translucency is not going to stay. It's just because your paper is wet with the glue. Okay, so we are going to carry on here. So go ahead and get your right over the edge. Okay. Now, because this one is tight to the paper towel that you are using underneath it to protect your desk surface, once you've got, just going to the edge, okay, over in this corner, making sure I cover that corner really well. Your edges, make sure your edges are covered really well, because you want to make sure that when your journal is done, that these surfaces are not separating at all. Okay, so the better the job you do here, the more careful, the more thorough a job you do, the better, the more lasting the result, the end result you're going to have. Okay, all right. And again, try to make your coating go after you've got it all on, and just start. If you notice any areas that are kind of like got little thick spots, just brush them out so that you got a nice even coating, and it's going to dry quicker for you. Okay. Okay, now I said that once, I think we're good now. Whoops. Okay. Let's put that cap back on there nice and tight. Oh, check this too before you do. If you have any glue that was just kind of starting to dry on there, remove that off your edges and stuff so that your cap is not sticking to the bottle and making it really hard for you to open for future uses. Okay. And the other thing is, check your inside edges too for dried up glue, because if that dried up glue enters back into your fresh glue, it starts to compromise the quality of it. So, all right, so this guy's going to dry. Okay, now I told you that what I want to do, because I'm brushing over the edge, if you can see here, when I go to pick this up, It's sticking, see that? And so this is the time when this is not completely dry to just lift that off of there and make sure that this surface is not sticking. Now, by brushing always to the outer edge, the other thing that we have prevented, and this is dry enough here that I can flip it over and talk to you, there's no glue at all on this edge, okay? And that's imperative for a really nice finish, okay? Because if you get glue on this surface, when you go to finish with something else to do a final finishing on this thing, sometimes that glue, if it's present there, it's going to affect whatever you're putting on top and maybe give your edges a different look than what's actually everywhere else. And so if you're careful and you do the brushing like I told you to, always from the center out, okay, you won't have that problem. You can see I'm able to handle this. It's tacky in a few places, but this stuff, if you've got it, you've got your coat thin, you have an overcoat. You don't want a thick coat. You want a thin coat. You want it's ample so that everything is covered, but it's not thick. It's definitely not thick. Okay. All right. So we're going to let that sit and we're going to have a look at this guy and see how he's doing. See, this guy is almost completely dry already. There is absolutely no sheen over here. It's completely matte. Over here, this would have been the edge that I did further on. That would be almost dry. I can see a little bit of sheen to it, but it's coming along real quick. So I would say that within 5 to 10 minutes, we are ready to go, okay? The other thing that you need to choose is, okay, while that's drying, I'll just move that again. Get that out of the way. Put it to the side. Okay, while it's drying, your choice for what you want to do here on the inside edge. This journal that I am going to work on today, I'm going to do this. If I do one in the future, I might do one in the future that actually has a pocket, but I'll have to figure out how I want to design that if I'm going to do it, because I definitely want like a nice, neat looking finish to it. So I'll figure that out and then maybe come back in a future video with that. However, having said that, this edging here and on front and back is specifically to strengthen this edge, to make it really durable, so that when you're going to close, your edge is not compromised. It's strong, and your journal is going to last. Okay, let's move on. We have dried surfaces. I am going to remove my gloves for this. Okay, and I'll grab the other sheet. Yep, she is dry. That looks good. Okay, whoop, whoop, whoop. And it does want to stick to each other real good, real easy. So what you want to do is give yourself a little less than 1/4 of an inch at the bottom, and you want to have margin on both sides that you can see. You want to lay this edge down on here as as straight as you can. So I'm going to come closer to that edge. She looks pretty good. Okay, and I'm going to start pressing forward. Okay, all right, now I'm going to grab, if you have something to burnish, go ahead and just really thoroughly start from the center, push out to the edges. Okay, so with the wax sealant, you can't go straight on with the wax because the wax will pull the ink and start smearing it, is what it will do. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take Mod Podge, and I've got matte Mod Podge here. And grab yourself a brush. And we're gonna start doing the same thing. I'm still gonna work from the center out in all directions, and we're going to add a coat of Mod Podge. When you're working with the Mod Podge, if you noticed, I didn't put a big blob down on here, and the reason I didn't do that is because I don't want to leave the glue sitting in a pool anywhere, because the longer that you leave the glue sitting in a pool, the greater the chance you have of it actually getting really down into your ink before you and then when you go and brush it, you end up smearing it and then pulling ink. And so with this method that you see me doing right here, I'm pulling as little as possible. Now, some of us notice that when we work with Mod Podge, that it can leave glue streaks. And so how you get around that is you take a piece of paper towel. When you got it at that wet stage, you lay it down and pull it up right. Whoop! That's not what I wanted to have happen. Okay. Okay. So I got a little mess there, but that's okay. We're able to salvage it. So do it a little quicker. But basically what happens, of course it would happen to me when I'm right on video. But why not any better time to do it? What it does is it removes the streaking, okay? The brush streaks that you would get. And it leaves a nice like mottled finish, so it dries, and when it dries with no streaking. So how do I prevent that from happening that you just saw happening? Okay, so sometimes the mistakes on camera are the best because then you can see what not to do. Okay, so what does that mean? That means it dried. Remember, I've got a ceiling fan going on in here right now too. So that's going to speed the drying. So just keep all of those factors in mind. So basically, while it is still wet, okay, if you want it more wet, okay, then do it in pieces. Take smaller sections, lift it off of there carefully. Okay. And then go on to your next section. Now I've just got this top corner to do. All right. And so what that allows you to do is to have a full canvas done without that added streaking from brush strokes, because you can see here this. If it's catching the light at all in the camera, you can see those streaks, and I want to eliminate that. So I'm just going to brush this way quickly. And remember, I am merely using the Mod Podge to seal it. Okay, and then carefully lift. If you see any streak areas, just lay it down. Do not let it sit there for any length of time. You can even just daub it like that. Look around. What's that there? That's dry already. Okay, so that's eliminated any look of brush streaks. Okay, I've got some on my table. So I don't mess around with my brushes with glue or paint or anything in them, because they will just last that much longer for you if you go and you stop your process long enough to rinse your brush out, and then you will have your brushes for a long time. So I will be right back. Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to give you a matte finish. Rather, you're going to end up with a matte finish on this cover as an alternative to the glossy that is on this one that of course, is glossy because it's been laminated with laminating paper, okay? And so, so to show you the two options that you have, okay? If I were, I guess I could do another one, I don't know. If I were laminating this thing, then I may have said it earlier too. I can't always remember what I said. But after you had glued down your cardstock to your foam, you would then cut down your edges. And after you were cut down to your edges were all cut down, then you would go ahead and you would laminate over top of it. Okay. I might even do an excerpt on that. We'll see. We shall see. Okay, we are done with this part. We're done with the Mod Podge. Now we need the wax. This is the wax. Oops. I talked to you about in the other video. It was kind of like an introductory video when I showed you this. It's a clear wax. This one's put out by Fullcart, and it's actually wax that is used for sealing chalk-stained furniture. Well, this makes a really nice finish as well. Okay, same thing. We want a little piece of wax paper just to make, or a piece of paper towel just in case. Now, this stuff you can work with sparingly. Okay, you don't need that much. All right, so this much on my brush that you see here, this is going to go a long ways. This is fairly liquidy, so you see me, I keep rotating the brush because if I don't, it's going to start dripping off. And so basically, I'm just going to start wiping across the page. I think I do. I've got enough for the whole page on what I just put out there. Okay, so, and you're just working it and towards your edges. If my head ever gets in the way, I apologize. I'm just going to put so I'm not getting fingerprints in it, and I can hold it down. Making sure I've got my edges really good. Hold on here. I'm just going to have a look around. You can feel around with your hands too. This is not toxic, so you can feel around. I feel like maybe a smidgen up there in the corner. Okay, I got lots now. More than I want. And we're just gonna, so I'm feeling around. Make sure I got all my surfaces covered. All of my surface edges. Okay. Can grab it with the edge now. And just keep working it. You're making sure that you don't see any kind of streaking. Okay. And so when you look at it, it's just kind of a nice, even, matte look to it. Okay. And we're going to let that dry. And I would say that you probably need to give it, let's give it half an hour. Let's give it half an hour. Okay, so we got all of our edges off and everything is on. Nothing is moving. Like, I'm testing it. I'm going along, making sure that nothing is lifting. There's nothing moving. That's why I said this cement, this contact cement for paper products is just the bomb. It really is. It's excellent. Okay, this is the guy we're laminating. Okay. And so you can see that the laminating sheets are made bigger than an 8.5 by 11, which is perfect. That's exactly what you want. And when you're going to line it up to remove it, you can see it's got graph lines on here. So you're going to line it up with those lines to make sure that you're coming down the laminated sheet straight. Because the last thing you want is to lay it down and you find out you're crooked, and then you get part way and then, you know, some of it's hanging off the edge or whatever. That's just not what you want. So trust me, in Murphy's world, where something can go wrong, it will go wrong. So just things to think about before you get in the procedure. So you lift up your laminating sheet, or your laminator, or your laminate. Oh, goodness. And basically, I'm going to just take that and fold it back. Okay? Now, I've got it in that position. I don't want it moving all over the place on me, so I'm going to put the candle over there for a moment. Okay, now I did tell you to follow a line, which now that they're gone, it's hard, you can't do that. So I take that back. You can't, not exactly. I suppose in another application it would work that way. So I've got, luckily for me, I've got a graph on my cutting board, and so I'm lining up my edges like that. Okay, you're going to go this down because you're laminating this to the sticky side. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that I lay it on this laminate as straight as possible. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay, I've also done this with my straight cutter, like this. And so I'll line up, get my blade up there. I'll line up my paper down the center of the cut. All right. Cut it off, and then I must grab that edge because it's sticky and just lift it off. And I'm just going to set it temporarily right there, and I'll grab the next one. I use my straight cutter a lot. I actually use it for scoring too, rather than the big. For most things that I'm doing with a journal, I don't have multiple score lines to do, and so I do have a scoreboard, but I don't use it that often. I just find it easier, less tools. Okay, but in the event that I have multiple scores that I gotta do for a project, yes, absolutely I will. So I don't like that spot right there, but I do like my edges that look pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 inches from this side, now from this side. So I want to cut this edge. And I want 3 inches. Okay, so that's my excess. Okay, I just showed you. Here they are. There's my inside pieces. They now have to be coated along with the measurements taken here. Okay, so we're going to put a tick here and put a tick here. We're at 11 inches over here, so I'll go 1, 2, 3. Should have done that on the first one too. I've got a line there that's lying to me. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I'm just going to go inside of the line. So when I'm lining up, I'm not going over that. Okay, same thing here. We're going to go, where is it? There it is. Okay. Okay, that looks good there. So now we need to bring the rubber cement back on, and we need to coat these two and these two. We have everything dry and ready to go. So I want you want to be this edge flush with this edge flush with this edge, and this edge flush with this edge. So you're paying close attention to all 3 sides, and you're going to come at this angle that's good. Right there. Okay, and I'm going to lay it down. So take your time about that placement, because you have got one chance at this. Once it's down, it's down. It's not, you're not lifting it back up. Now we got this guy that's waiting for us, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to flip it this way. We're going to make sure that, where's this tickle coming from? Excuse me, guys. Flush with this side, flush with this side, and flush on this side. Use a sharp angle to give yourself time to get it placed. Okay, and then lay it down. Looks good. It's just the imperfections of the laminate paper itself. Okay. Quality control, right? Okay. All right. Now, she is down there nice and firm. Okay. These are looking good. Okay, so before we do the corners, we're going to make sure everything is flush again, once again. Okay. I'm just going to come at it. All right, so I did the laminating sheets on the inside. I did the matte on the outside. Our edge is nice and strong and durable. We are ready to go ahead and do our corners. So. So that gets our front cover outside glued down and on. It looks nice. It gets our insides on. We have flexibility, but we have durability as well. So we have both. So the best of both worlds. So now I said I wanted to do this marking before I cut my corners off and forgot. So we're going to have to go from the outside edge, and we know where 11 inches is, and we know we are coming, I want to come down from the top a full 1/4 of an inch, and I'm at about a 1/4 of an inch right now. I want to mark center, which is what I'm doing right now, is just marking the spots for the eyelets to go in. Okay, and so we're gonna do that. I believe I just did them. Yep, 1/2 inch. Okay, so 1/2 inch from there marks the next eyelet, and 1/2 inch to the right marks the next eyelet. Okay, then we flip the page over and we go to the edge, and down about a 1/4 of an inch, and we go 5 1/2, which is middle. Oops, I broke it. We go to a 1/2 inch to the left, which puts it at 5 inches, and then a 1/2 inch to the right, which puts it at 6 inches. Okay, and now that I have got where center is on both sides, I take my ruler, put it to the edge, line up both of those center dots, and we have 8 1/2 inches. So 8 1/2 divided in half is 4 1/4, and that's where our center punch will be in order to put in all of our eyelets, because we'll have 3 eyelets here, plus we have an eyelet to hold our closing elastic, the elastic that opens and closes it. Okay, so the next thing we will do is we will punch these holes. Okay, if you do not have the big crocodile that has the long arm for getting in to punch your hole there, you would use an eyelet setting toolkit that allows you to cut that center hole out. Okay, so that's what you see me doing here, because I just wanted to show you how it actually works. So I'm just going to work it, ouch, till I see it coming through, and then I'm going to go from the other side Okay. And get my hole. Of course, I can do a better job right on that edge there. Okay. So then I think that I'm just deciding my color for this one. Ooh, you know, I'm kind of liking this idea this time around. Let's see. Yep. I think that would be fine. It'd be really pretty. Okay, I will do that. I will do that. So that is how you're going to get your center hole. So you're going to need a toolkit that allows you to set an eyelet, and it's going to come with these pieces to actually help you do that. So okay, just split. Let's split more. Okay, that's fine. All right, so that center one is always all right, getting it just right. All right, so for the rest of them, you want to move your Crop-A-Dile to, that's what I'm going to be using. If you don't have that, then follow the directions for setting an eyelet. I will be using the Crop-A-Dile. I just find it handy for this. So I'm going to go and I'm going to set it at the 1/4 inch down. I am using the 1/8 hole punch, not the larger, but the smaller, the 1/8. Okay, and you will go and let it rest on that 1/4 inch guide. Line up with your hole in the center of your hole and go ahead and punch them. And you want to do that for all 6 of them. So I have to drop it each time so that I can clear the hole. Otherwise I can't see what I'm doing. So what I do is I've chosen my color for this, and so I'm just going to grab several. I'll do 3 at a time. I use an awl for this, and I'll just load them on. And I'll go and pop one in the hole there, pop one in the hole there, and pop one in the hole there. And then go ahead and set them. Backwards. 1, 2, 3. Okay, they're all on there nicely. Go and grab another 3 eyelets. 1, 2, and 3. Go and load them on. 1, 2, 3. Grab your Crop-A-Dile and set them. Okay. I know today's video is long, but there's just a lot of pieces and parts, steps to cover, so we're making sure we're getting all of our bases covered. I am going to go with the white elastic on this as well. So I'm going to grab it. I usually keep my elastic, I have a standard 2 colors. I use black and I use white. I want to use white for this. These are 2mm thick elastics that I just buy in these rolls from off of Amazon. Okay, and so we're going to use the white one today. All right. It's like 13 inches, right? Could I do it in 12? I just don't want to be over tight, but I think I could do it. You're going to lose a little bit of room now. So I'm going to go with 13, about 13 inches there, okay? I'm going to cut it off there. And that is going to be for my center. So basically, what it's going to do, you're going to go through the hole. And we're not even ready for this piece yet, so I need to do that. So this piece here needs to have, this one I didn't measure. You can go in and do these if you like, but basically right down the center of the piece. So if this is, okay, so center is here. So it's 1 1/8 inches, so we're going to go 1/2 plus 1/16. So that puts me right down center. Okay. So based on that, I'm going to eyeball the rest. I want the first punch to be 1/4 inch in on each end. Oops. Okay, locked. Okay, unlock. So right there. We'll clean that out. And we'll do the other side. Center. Okay. Clean that out. Okay. Now we're going to take it and we're going to drop it back 1/2 inch from there. So we're going to be down 3/4 inch, okay, on the Crop-A-Dile, and you're going to punch a hole there, clear it. I guess I could. I already know how. Like I can eyeball it where center is, and punch your next one. Okay. Oof, these like to fly around. Okay, so I will set those eyelets as well. Grab my awl. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. And then set this one. Set that one there. Grab another 2. Okay. Pop them on. Grab your Crop-A-Dile. Set 1. Set 2. Okay, that's simple. Now, I forgot to round my corners, but we can go ahead and do that right away too. So, because I think it'll just look better if they're rounded. Okay, so the idea with this is that it's gonna go in, out, and if you're gonna put charms on the end of it, like I have here, your charms are gonna go on now, okay? And then, once your charms are on, back in, back out. And then you're going to go back through this hole. And you're going to tie it off. Okay, so for my charms, I have chosen these little hearts. Ooh, cute. There's heart keys and then actual keys. And then I got these guys that I bought as well. And these will need, those are really cute. So Faith. And I kind of want to do a mix of the white gold and the yellow, like the silver and the yellow gold. I think that's nice. So they all say the same thing. Yes, they do. Okay. All right. So they need to be on jump rings, and so that's another step. So am I using lobster clasps? If I use lobster clasps, then I don't even have to. I can go ahead and do it that way. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do, is use the lobster clasps to attach them on. So I'm not going to worry about that step right now. I will get these on. And so I just need to pop that through the hole with a little help. Okay, and then we're going to match the two ends from this side, and we are going to tie the knot. I want a pair of tweezers so that I can grab, if I can, grab them. Come on, you. Ouch, I pinched my finger. Okay. Sometimes these are just fun. Okay. And push that one through. There we go. I can grab them both. I'm loosely tying it right now because I want to be able to play with the final outcome of it. There we go. So she's loosely tied, and then I can play with that. I can round these corners at any time. I'm not concerned about that. I can pull it back and round them at any time, but this just gets it going. Okay, so that is on there. Now the second part. So that's an extra piece. Oh yeah, that was another one that I saw that I liked. It says, "Be still and know that I am God," and that would be so pretty if it was going along the edge like that too. So okay, so I will have to, I think, untie for that one. Having said that, I can do all that aside from the video. Okay, so we're going to do this all with one length of cord. We are going to go in from the top right, come down through the bottom right, come up through the bottom center, pulling, 2, that might be enough there. Maybe we will come back a little bit. Let's see. It's going to be close. Okay, so come up through the top, and come up, and then go out through the top center. Then come in through the top left. Go down through the bottom left. Okay. Come back in through bottom center. if you need help pushing that through, just grab an awl or something like this, like your weeding tool. Just push it through. Give it an extra. There we go. And then you want, that's perfect there. So then this is coming over and coming inside. So we can cut it right there. That'll be plenty. And so there's not a lot of wastage when you do that this way. So let's pop it down in through that hole that I need to. Just to keep the elastic from unraveling everywhere. Okay, so this one goes back in through the center at the top. Push through. Push a little bit further so I can actually grab it and pull it. Okay. Okay. You're going to grab the two of them. And you're going to knot it together. Now, you can do the other style knot too if you like. Okay, that's a bit tight, so I'm going to just drop it back. I want it to slightly flex. So there's a slight flex to it, so you can see that. I might give it just a little less. I think I like that there. That's going to be good. So begin to tighten it down, just kind of working it back and forth to get that snug. Okay, there we go. We're happy with that. I'm going to cut them off, just leave like a ½ inch loose end. Okay, this one's, I said I was not tightening down till later because I know I have to unloop it because I'm wanting to put that there charm on it. Okay, so our cover is done. And we are ready to go and make our inserts and to put them in. So the next videos will be in dealing with the actual inserts themselves. And we will go from there. Okay, so this is with the cover done. Now I took my inserts out of my other journal here, this one here, so that I could show you the difference between a finished glossy case that has the laminate finish, and just the one that I'm using now for my journal, and this one here, which is the one that we've just finished in the tutorial today to get this cover done. And so I took my inserts from this one, put it in here, just so that you can look and see what this is going to look like when it's done. It has a beautiful matte finish. So if I were to compare the finish to, say, like a wall paint, it's not a flat. It's somewhere between an eggshell and a satin finish, if I could describe it. It has a beautiful touch to it. It's got a nice finish all the way around. And it's got its durability. It's just beautiful. I am so happy with it. I hope that you are happy with the finish of yours. And I just wanted to leave you with this. And we will carry on to do the actual inserts in the next videos. Okay?